Hey guys, welcome back. This is my first YouTube channel. I guess for me it's an achievement. I felt like I could do this and I've done it, and it feels great. I feel like $1,000,000. There's something about creating in front of an audience and kind of showing this to the world. I'm gonna set up a new aquarium. You guys can watch me do this. I kind of wanted to do this aquarium for myself because it's going to be the biggest I've done. I'm also going to keep something that I'll reveal at the end of the episode in it that I've always wanted to do. So anyway, let's begin. We'll start with lighting. So saltwater lighting has more than one color. There's white and blue. And blue simulates deep ocean environment, kind of like 100 feet down. The white is the shallow reef area. So good saltwater lights have a combination of blue and white, and when those two are together, the light provides what's needed for life to survive. With filters, you can see this filter cartridge. I'd recommend just stay away from anything that uses a cartridge. It's probably not good enough to take care of your fish. I like these, the Fluvial Sea series. With saltwater, you can really use anything as long as it has kind of different components to the filtration. You know, chemical, the black carbon, some sort of mechanical to filter debris out. But biology, the biological component, which is bacteria, is probably the most important. This one has a unique little chamber that I just pulled out there that it just has a really good engineering design. I'm just kind of blown away that they made this. I mean, I wish they had this years ago, but I'll tell you why. So this chamber at the top, I'm about to show this to you guys, water trickles down into this media that's just porous. It's meant for bacteria to grow on. But because the water trickles down, there's a mixture of air and water kind of hitting these things simultaneously. So high oxygen water is great for bacteria growth. This stuff's going to do wonders for your aquarium, these little white pieces. For saltwater, you can get mixes. I use real saltwater from the ocean. I buy it from Petco. I've always used this stuff. It's worked magic. I've had no problems. Live sand. It's sand with saltwater in it, and bacteria. You can buy this in bags. You put this in your aquarium, it'll kind of jumpstart the cycling process, which we'll talk about in a bit. You should always kind of do at least 3 inches. Also, air stones. I'm a big supporter of these things. Some people don't like them, but they're a secret sauce of mine. I have a giant pump here that provides 3 different air stones to both aquariums. Current, also important. Where there's current in a tank, there's life. Current carries oxygen, nutrients, things that life needs to survive. High current is the reason why this purple stuff you see is all over this tank. It just spreads everywhere. But let's begin. So here's the aquarium. It's acrylic. I ordered it online. You usually can't find acrylic in stores. And when you first put water in an aquarium, it's going to look really blurry and ugly like this for about 24 hours. But, the goal right now is to basically clear up this water. You start by putting an air stone in. Let's get this oxygenated because right now it's just standing water that's toxic to life. And within a day, it starts to look like this. It starts to clear. Put the power heads in there. Those things you see mounted on the side are current makers. They generate current waves that randomly just kind of go throughout the inside of the aquarium, kind of like an underwater fan. So now that we have oxygen current in there, you can start putting rocks in. This is live rock. It's actually chunks of coral reef from the ocean. It's filled with life. It filters your water. It's beautiful. It grows over time. And also throw in some live plants. I feel like with saltwater, the more live everything you do, the easier it actually is. This all plays a role in kind of keeping your water clean. So let's talk about fish. Clownfish, everyone kind of saltwater, they want a Nemo. And they're easy to take care of. There's all these captive bred breeds that honestly they look domesticated now. They don't even look like normal clownfish, but they're beautiful. They're great starter fish. You're probably wondering what a good starter saltwater fish is, and a good starter saltwater fish is one that can withstand your mistakes is a new aquarium. So clownfish, damselfish, the green chromis like you see here. What you want to get is a fish that's known to be hardy. You can actually find out a lot of information online, especially through the online fish retailers. So what do you feed your new saltwater fish? Well, these 2 clownfish, probably because they're captive bred, they would only eat flaked food, which I equate with fast food in the fish world, but they just go nuts for it. And today they eat exclusively kind of the better option, the frozen. So always take success if your fish are eating as soon as you put them in. It's always a good sign. So this is what I'm really excited about. This is a shark egg, which I'm going to try to hatch. I will say this is not a beginner fish, even though this series is kind of for new aquarists. Sharks are probably one of the hardest things you can keep. We'll talk about this later as it gets closer to hatching. But as you can see inside this egg, it's very much alive. Its tail is kind of swimming in there, and it's got a little ball of yolk. And that's going to get smaller over the next probably on 5-6 weeks until it finally hatches at about 5 inches long. Alrighty guys, so when you get to this point, if you get this far, pat yourself on the back because you're doing it, right? But this aquarium's not done. Like, it looks done, but it's actually just beginning. Right now you kind of have a sterile aquarium where you need some bacteria growth to process all that waste that your fish produce. So the next part of this series is the nitrogen cycle. And it's actually the thing that all new aquariums must go through in order to kind of sustain life long term. So we will talk about this. Stay tuned.